Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. Welcome back to American Truck Simulator, back to basics. Just cruising around on the base maps that SCS has put out so far. So news on that front, they did drop a gameplay trailer for Arkansas on August 17th. Looking back at the last time this happened, so I did go back and dig to just see if I could take a peek at what it was. It was basically exactly a month later from the time that the gameplay trailer dropped till the DLC day. So I would assume sometime around September 17th we're going to see Arkansas. And that is not unexpected. That's been in progress the longest. So they're also working, as a reminder, on Missouri and Iowa have been formally announced. So those would be coming, and it's been about 6 months since we had Nebraska drop, so time flies when you're having fun, right? But that's the announcement. Let's see where we're headed today. Alright, I think I'm going to go ahead and take this order of lumber to Fort Worth. Gives us a little bit of a longer run, keeps us in Texas, but kind of sets us up to, maybe make a circle, kind of come back. See if we can maybe pull something off like that. Alright, so we need to we'd parked here in this kind of between the buildings thing last time, dropping off a piece of equipment, if I remember correctly. But I had run this load a while ago. I did it before I went out of town. To make sure, because the episode that posted would have been on the 20th of August. That episode was basically happening very close to when we were returning, and I didn't want to have a rush situation. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to get this thing picked up. Well, I suppose if I run into a rest stop before that, we can do that too, but benefit once again in this series using mainly World of Trucks jobs, which are real-time based, not game-time based, is I can try to keep daylight when I'm moving along for the most part. Obviously the break in that is something like this where I'm dropping off in twilight and then I need to get to a rest stop, but there's one there on 87. I don't think we're going that way though, so I just don't know that it's worth that change in direction. I guess I'm thinking like a road like this, you go too fast, the game could introduce damage to the truck, so suspension, stuff like that, so let's be careful. So you can see pretty good traffic on the main road here. Right. Reminder, we're using kind of a real traffic volume or a real traffic density mod. Turn right. Now, I'm guessing let me make sure here. No, okay, alright. So I'm going on 87. Just wasn't sure if I was going to go on the frontage road or something else, so. Alright, Cisco, big food carrier, as you can tell from the images, but. So yeah, this will be interesting because this is exactly how I would think an intersection like this would feel. Like, I'd be like, I'm never going to get out of here, because that is kind of where my head is at. So, let's see. I don't want to go too far, but yet, obviously, I want to be able to go at some point. A little bit of stutter there I saw with the truck on the other side, but I'm sure some of that is just, there's a good amount of traffic. Maybe after this car, after this bus, it's given us a little bit of a breather. Oh, it looks like the McDonald's truck ran into somebody there. Oh, I did not realize we had a bit of a lane where I could speed up, so that would have been potentially helpful, because things would have stopped for us as we tried to merge. That's alright. gave us a good opportunity to experience the traffic. So yeah, I was feeling that we were probably getting pretty close to something being released. I know I've made the comment that I'm fully expecting at least one of these states to drop. Is that? Oh, it's probably cotton. I don't know, maybe not, but it's interesting, whatever it is.
Keep right, and then exit right.
Alright, so not too far. But it still was
Exit right.
45 minutes, 40 minutes, and good news is here we can rest.
Keep right, and then turn right.
Maybe what I'll do is I will I'll go ahead and grab the load before I didn't want to stop the whole way. Alright, go ahead. I mean, I have my turn signal on. Like, you know where I'm going.
Right.
So in this series, again, because we don't have any economy mods or any other kind of gameplay impacting mods, you know, we have visuals like real companies and stuff, but that's it. So yeah, I'll do it on the way back. I'm also going to need to get fuel. So yeah, that's all going to take a bit of time. We'll do that on the way out of town. But we'll get to the Home Depot, pick that up now, and then we'll rest. Head into one of those large Texas truck stops. So depending on what you follow on the channel,
Go straight.
you may or may not be aware, oh my gosh, that I have been ill since I got back from the trip. There have been a good amount of time that I didn't do anything, any recording,
right.
and I'm still
right.
not 100%. I'm having to keep muting things.
Right.
Hopefully I remember to unmute them. Just double checking again because I'm having to cough or whatever.
You have arrived at your destination.
Alright. But now, not getting out, that's where I want to be careful. So yeah, I think I'm just going to back in here and then we'll back all the way down and get that load. Because otherwise I'm doing some crazy turnaround later. So, nope, wrong way. Always trying to, in my head, like, which way? What do I need to do? And I'm clearly not at the level of a professional trucker, because I'm sure for them it's second nature. You look back, oh, I want the trailer to go that way, I do this. Clearly not my skill set yet. You know, and I'm only driving the truck less than once a week usually. I mean, again, before the trip, yeah, I did two loads in a row, but a lot of times I don't do that. So just don't have enough of the memory, I guess, to develop the habit. But it looks very similar, I assume, to what we're going to have, other than obviously I've got a drop level flatbed as opposed to just a flat one, although it looks like he's got logs up there, not lumber. So maybe they're bringing in the product to get work. Well, it's a Home Depot. They're not milling logs into lumber here at Home Depot, so probably wouldn't really be getting logs either, but hey, it's a sim. Sometimes the reality is not quite the same. That is a building back there. Wow. Whatever that facility is, doing a lot of stuff. Alright. What is that beeping sound? Are the Waymo cars here? Not sure if you've seen that. It's been one of the funniest videos in a long time. I mean, I'm not against driverless vehicles or anything like that, but you gotta admit it was funny. Let's load up here. So there's a company called Waymo that has driverless cars. And I don't know if they're actually transporting people or just packages around San Francisco or whatever, but there's a parking lot that they park in at night, overnight. And in the last few days, there have been complaints because the driverless cars are honking at each other at really late, early hours of the morning, and obviously impacting the ability of their neighbors to sleep. So as they're trying to maneuver around the lot, get out or come back in or whatever it is, they're just beep, beep, and I'm sure it's just some sort of a warning, like they're sensing something around them and they're letting the other thing know. So it's not like they're laying on the horn like they're upset, like, mimicking an upset driver or anything. But, yeah, let's not drift across the line. That was really close. I guess I could have gone in there too. Oh well. That's all right. We'll go in over here. There's gas around the back is probably what it looks like that I need to do for the truck. Maybe we'll rest first just to be sure. I really thought this was like one big truck stop. I didn't have in my head that there was a road here, but some of that is because, again, we don't continue there, so it's not on the map. We're not allowed to continue, so I just thought it was a really weirdly chopped up huge truck stop, but it looks like it's a couple truck stops across from each other. I can reset my trip meter, so instead of 300 we're down to 0, but we've got about 370 miles that we needed to go. Again, that doesn't include running off and doing stuff like what I'm doing here, but yeah, this is the car side. But I'm going to head over here. I think I'll park first.
Go straight.
It seems like the smarter thing to do. And then we'll go from there. Alright, I was wondering how far it was going to make me go. So let's rest. Alright. And that's kind of the benefit, is what I figured would happen, is if I rested, I'm like, it's going to take an hour to load the truck, and then it might not quite be daylight, but at least now it is. So all is good. On the road to feed America's families. Don't know who that is, but it's a good mission to have, feeding people. All right. So let's stop and fill. 357, not terrible. Certainly a little bit less than reality. I think we might be close to $5 a gallon now for diesel right at this point, at least in areas I'm aware of. I don't know what the price would be or is in Texas, but alright, so we're gonna head out on the road. I apologize, I gotta clear some stuff. Alright, should be unmuted.
And then keep right.
Alright, after him, I'm gonna do a little bit of pull out, and we'll see if it gives us the space we need.
And then
not entirely, but it's interesting that they have, like, you could drive in and out of those little ditches. I assume they're water retention things for when rain comes, just to keep things off the road. It's not a feature that I'm used to seeing anywhere I've been, so I can't say with authority. And again, they do seem to have ramps in and out. I don't know if they truly have that, or if that's just in case you're a goofball driver in the sim, that you don't suddenly totally get stuck and have to reset, so SCS added that for traction and things like that so that trucks can get out. Alright, Costco, we deliver. So we are on our way, 3 miles. That little loop was 3 miles.
Go straight.
So, okay, heading to I-27, looks like.
Keep right.
All right.
And then turn right.
So, and that is where we are going.
Turn right.
So that was the one thing I was wondering is, are we going to, the way the map had the route, I'm like, it almost seems like I might be taking roads, but that seemed weird for
Keep left. And then
such a
exit
long
left.
distance to Fort Worth, and I certainly know that there are
Exit left.
interstates that go through Dallas, Fort Worth, and it looks like we're going to be like right in between. So I don't think we'll have discovered Dallas, but we obviously should discover Fort Worth, and I think we can discover Wichita Falls, Texas in between as well. Whoops, I don't actually have things set yet, so let's get ourselves there. Seymour and Seminole. Again, our max is 65. But we should be able to accelerate pretty. I'm surprised it's struggling as much as it is, but we are already, I think, in
Keep right. And then exit right.
in our one of our higher gears. So really, we're already exiting?
Exit right.
All right. Well, not what I thought, but I thought we were going to take this, but I guess not.
Right. And then exit right.
Right. I mean, again, if it's a divided highway, it's fine. It doesn't really, I mean, it
Exit
honestly
right.
doesn't matter either way. It's the route that we need to take. Alright, nobody's there, so that's good. And then we've got a lot of merging, and yeah, it's still a pretty good highway here, so kind of figured it would be, but yeah, it's not an interstate, so yes, a little bit more meandering probably does mean we will be stopping when we hit towns and so forth, but End the Streak, Texas, and then it's like talk, text, whatever. Wondering if that kind of public safety announcement is some new real information they've added in, kind of like the advertisements for real trucking companies that some people were up in arms about, but it's pretty nice, because yeah, if you can inject real messaging to certain boards, like why couldn't you on the traffic boards and stuff? So if that's like their current safety against texting and driving, it's pretty cool. Because I've certainly seen billboards for, you know, Vote 2024 around, since we're in election season here in the US. I'm assuming those will then disappear later and be replaced by something else. But I'm sure it's a little bit of a source of revenue now, again, whether they're just doing that part as a public service. But, you know, if some companies want other things on the billboards, for example, if they can have a little bit of a low, steady income stream, why not? I think it's a creative use of things. Oh, we did have a viewpoint. I didn't notice that. Oh, well. There is something here in this area of Texas. This would still be, I think, considered West Texas. So the West Texas Hill Country we hear about all the time. So I'm assuming that is what we are in here. That's not... Oh, there's a car right there. So, whoa. Alright. Oops, let's not hit that sign. But yeah, real traffic creates real traffic. So, 35. I'm guessing this is part of the map here. I could be wrong, but Now this looks... That would be a really strange random spawn. That's a lot of stuff. So I think this is kind of designed into the map here. But it was cool. It's always fun to have a little bit of reality to change things up.
Go straight.
Alright, so Guthrie and Seymour were on the mile placard there. I say mile marker, but that's not really a mile marker. It's just like it tells you you're at 10 miles on the road or whatever. But, alright. It does say picnic area, but it's not considered an official stop on the map. But definitely a little hilly here and there. Of course, as I say that, now we're headed to a very pronounced hill that we can clearly see. Looks like it's got a rest area on top on the other side. Again, we don't need one. We obviously just rested, so... And it was, I think, a little over 6 hours is what it said, so I would imagine mid-afternoon we'll be delivering our load. I mean, obviously that all depends on, does this stay a divided highway the whole way, and can we keep moving along, or are we going to have 30 miles an hour through little towns 6 times before we get there? So there's our little pullout that we could rest in. Again, as a truck, I'm maxed out. Well, as a truck on World of Trucks, I'm maxed out at 65. If you're unfamiliar with that aspect of American Truck Simulator and the integration, so I think SCS still runs the World of Trucks, which is how they have the events and so forth together and tied together. It's just a online community type thing. But to make things fair and so that people can't progress because they're just like, I'm just going to ignore the rules, or I'm going to turn off all the traffic laws in the game and drive 100 miles an hour and finish things at insane speeds. They basically put a limiter on the speed of 65. And they do the same thing with Euro Truck, but I can't use World of Trucks because of the Pro Mods map. It doesn't work quite completely 100% perfectly with it. But to keep things fair so that someone can't suddenly do a lot of things, because again, they have those events that are based on miles or how many cities you visit. So it would be pretty tempting for some people to be like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and do that and just blaze around the state and be done in a couple hours or something. But the way they level the playing field is that. Alright, we should be able, looks like we should be able to slow down appropriately, but there we go. Our divided highway is done, 136 miles in. See if it comes back. It may not. And obviously if we continue this way, this could take a bit. So it might be closer to dinner time than mid-afternoon, but we'll see. Because right now it's telling us we've taken 3 hours and 4 minutes since I reset the trip odometer. So in theory, we should be there in about 3 hours, but, you know, like 1 o'clock, but I don't think that's going to happen. Well, closer to 2 o'clock, it'd be like 1:45 p.m., but we shall see. So, kind of a rest area we can both use now because we don't have the divided highway anymore. More wind farms. I did see a little blurb, kind of, I don't know if it was a CNBC Make It money segment or something else, but they were talking with a lady who works as a windmill technician. You know, basically climb on top, replace parts, this, that. I think they said, I think she said she was making $73,000 a year. So not bad. I think she had been working for like 4 years. So I'm assuming she didn't start at that level, but it's not a bad wage for stuff like that. But obviously, you got to travel around and go to where the windmills are and things like that. All right. Oh, we did almost another 35 miles or so, but now we are slowing down here. As we head into town, we're down to 55. And probably slower because of what traffic is going to be doing, and I'm sure it's also going to slow down as we head into town a little bit. Yep, 40. Might get all the way down to 25. But let's see. Oh, we're definitely turning. Maybe we'll turn and join up to the freeway there over on the right. Because I know certainly, like, I used to fly for work into Dallas-Fort Worth and then head west. I'm sure I've mentioned it in travels in Texas to a town called Mineral Wells.
Keep right, and then turn right.
Which used to be famous in the day. They've got, it's a little tiny town. I mean, I think there's a college campus of UT,
right.
University of Texas there as well. But it was, I think, more well-known just because of the springs or whatever, where it got its name. And there's some just giant hotel. It's abandoned at this point, sitting there. But I think in the early 1900s, it was a real popular place. And, I mean, it's like Tower of Terror size. If you've ever been to Disney World or Disneyland and seen that, I mean, it's 10, 12, 15 stories tall in this kind of little Texas town. You can see it from miles away. It's pretty
Keep
cool.
left, and
So
then
I
turn
saw
left.
Wichita, whatever it is, Wichita Falls. I was thinking Wichita Springs, but it's Wichita
Turn
Falls. So that is the way we want to go. So the good news is that'll get us at least that far, and that's, I want to say that's like halfway, but this doesn't seem right because we should be more than halfway already. But maybe it's 360 miles as the crow flies. I mean, again, I only added like 5 miles doing that loop around to rest and fuel at most, so I should really 370 should be it, unless we get some crazy detour, which we always seem to. I feel like, oh, I picked a longer run, we're doing well, we're gonna finish, and then, oh hey, here's another 20 minutes because your exit's blocked. And that can still happen here, but hopefully not. As I see we're creeping up on half an hour already. I like to keep these between half an hour and an hour so that they just don't get too difficult to watch. As far as time, I am not sure what that thing I was looking at was. Looked like a Lego tree the closer we got to it, but maybe that was just bad design. Like, that's a cactus, which is also intriguing. I mean, I know you'd have some cacti in, like that. Yeah, it's that thing there. I guess it's a cactus. So that's why it was like the needles and stuff sticking out. That was just giving me an odd view. Alright, so there we go. That's probably a real ad. Couldn't read it. It's hard at speed to be able to read the billboards and things. It's there again. It's going to give us another shot. Tailgating a truck, I think is what it says. So yeah, I'm thinking that's something new that they've put in there, but I'm sure it's a safety announcement. You know, don't tailgate a truck and then end up underneath it. Alright, slowing down. I'm assuming this is Wichita Falls, although it's giving us an arrow there.
Go straight.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of struggle today with everything. We're getting a bit of stuttering here and there. So, apologize if it's distracting. You know, nothing. I probably just have too much going on. I mean, I know I have the detail level in the game up pretty high as it is, and then with the real traffic, it just might be combining to just be a bit much, but there we go. We get Wichita Falls, and I think all we're going to get is Fort Worth then. Is that a Fuddruckers? Kind of. Oh no, it's a Texas Roadhouse, I think. I don't know. And then just a strip mall called Strip. Ah, a Mixmaster. I think I talked about this before.
Right.
That's what they call interchanges in Texas here. So now it's usually more the circular things and whatever, but this is still a pretty cool example. Got a lot of stuff going on there. Let's straighten out so we can see where we're going. Alright, 250. On our way to Fort Worth. I did see that's on the sign, so
Keep left.
at least I know I'm definitely being sent in the right direction. Aside from the fact it didn't say recomputing or recalculating or whatever. So, don't know that I've seen a little route marker on the side yet to see, are we on an interstate? I would assume we are. That this is the one that goes through Dallas-Fort Worth and kind of would head us in the right direction to get to Mineral Wells. Behind me, though. Gainesville, just like Florida. Alright, 60-some miles to Fort Worth. So that's boding well, because that would be about 320, 330. And again, we're at like 360, so depending... Oh, no, we're just transitioning right over to another interchange and then getting back on 82. So, huh. Alright. It's interesting, though, because I thought I had a pretty good-sized engine in this. I wouldn't think this load of lumber is that challenging. But it appears that it may be. Okay. Can't get... Okay, this is 287 instead of 82. And I'm sure there, you know, these routes in Texas are famous and, or well-known, I should say. Not a whole lot of famous roads that I'd call that in the U.S. You know, Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills. I cannot remember the name of the crooked street in San Francisco. It's slipping my mind right now. But, you know, it's like a couple blocks, red bricks, lots of flower beds. It's on postcards. Everybody takes a picture there. Was there as a kid. It's pretty cool. But, those I'd say are famous. But most stretches of road are just, let's say maybe they're locally famous. But, you know. You know, you're in California and it's the something, the 10, the 5. You know, everything's the whatever. It's always funny because, you know, we had executives in our headquarters in LA that would come out to our facilities here in the Midwest and they'd be saying, you know, the 90. It's like, it's just 90. We don't call it the 90. Alright. A little bit of traffic, so I'm going to move over so that I can hopefully pass by, but we're in what we call the turtle race mode right now. And of course, one of the turtles moves over in front of me, but at least in-game they tend to be a little bit more spry, so I don't expect it's going to be that challenging, but yeah, I think we're almost here. I'm thinking that's Fort Worth and stuff that we're starting to see over there. Oh, come on. Yep, there we go. So we've discovered it. And somewhere... Alright, so 35 west, yep. Well, it's probably just... Both lanes are probably going to go in. I would think we'd be going east. Although that's the name. I mean, yeah, we're going east on 35 West, which is always kind of funny, but...
Keep right.
And stuff
And then
like this,
exit right.
stuff like this goes up to Minnesota. Because Minnesota, I think it might be 35 that does have, like, west and
Exit right.
all of that, so... Alright, I did not see...
Keep left. And then exit left.
Oh, so do I have to turn around and go back?
Exit left.
Yeah, I guess so. Alright. So, obviously they have these for a reason, because we use them, or traffic uses them regularly. Alright, I'm hoping it's done. Bit of cough. I feel a sneeze coming on. Alright, well, it didn't have me get on. The sneeze is doing what sneezes do, so at some point I'll probably just have to stop and mute and do that. But it just creates a bit of a challenge driving and not running off the road, so hopefully things will go well. I assume I'm going to the right here? I don't know. Why are you not telling me?
Right.
Alright.
And then turn right.
Thank you, Miss GPS. Like, you're not telling me something. But yeah, there was like a bit of a... like a... two sides of a right triangle that were there, and I think that's what this is. We turned around, came up, and then we're doing a sharp right, and then obviously we'll get to our destination in 20-some miles. So we were all going to FedEx, regardless of which Fort Worth thing I took. So that is what we'll be looking at here. So we're not going to Walmart. Alright, looks like he's turning,
Go
so
straight.
I'm gonna get out of his way. There we go. So, looks like it's just inserted out here as a drop point, and that's it. West Airfield Drive,
Right.
so maybe
And
this
then
is
exit
by
right.
maybe this is by DFW here.
Exit right.
Alright, and then obviously we're gonna have to go left. But yeah, that's a full-size commercial airport air traffic tower. Or air traffic control tower. That's probably what it's
Left.
more
And
officially
then
called.
turn left.
Alright.
Turn left.
Like, I know we're not going to have a green light here. Looks like we have a 3M facility over there. That's cool. And probably the deeper building is where we're headed. Looks like Georgia Pacific on the sign over there on the right. That's what I think that logo is. So we also have real traffic timing, so lights will take a little while like they do in the real world. And since we kind of pulled up, wasn't a full cycle because it's not like we just missed the green arrow, like it did just stop slowing traffic on this side, so it should be close to getting ready to release us, and I would imagine we'll go before that gob of traffic. There we go. Alright, Airfield Road. And there's the big FedEx facility. And I have no idea what the other thing is next to us. Super Cargo Service is what that one plane says. But there you go, DFW. Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. Welcome. Or not. Oh, I'm like, is it not going to let me in? I'm like, I can't drive in anywhere else, but I wasn't seeing. Normally there's like the flashing yellow lights or something. I was getting a little worried. I'm like, I do not want to try to figure out how I get out of here. Alright. So let's do the security check. So we got a few planes. The symbol is interesting. It's like, could you actually do something over there at some point? Like pick up cargo containers? That would be pretty cool. But I don't know. I don't know if that's really
You have arrived at
what
your
it would
destination.
have us do. So I think I need to go around this way. But yeah, never been at this facility in the game. But I do like the planes. It's cool. Definitely adds to the realism. Alright, there we go. So, relatively straightforward. I basically can get over here and then just come straight back. So, got a guy up on the lift getting ready to get that cargo into the plane. KLM backwards on the tail there. It's MLK, but it's literally like a mirror image type thing. It's kind of funny. Alright, what is going on? There we go. Like it started moving, I'm still pressing on the brake, which is how you reverse in ATS. But again, we don't get out, but we shouldn't have to get out. This is not a blind backup. Sam's Club here at the FedEx depot at the airport. That's interesting. But maybe they're doing like shipments of stuff from one warehouse to the other, so. And then I suppose FedEx as a middleman for that might make sense for even someone like the big Walmart. So yes, I've never seen a Sam's Club plane, so they obviously need to use somebody if they're doing any kind of air freight. Alright, stop the engine. Get things turned in. Let's see what payday looks like. And, you know, XP payday as well, which is always nice. Alright, 820, that's pretty good. So we'll be getting there in, I don't know, 2, 3, maybe 4 loads, depending on how big we take them, but another 14,000. Again, as I've said, not a real economy mod, so, you know, we make money pretty quickly. So 7-day profit up to $127,000. Wouldn't that be nice if you could do something like that in real life as a truck driver? But we are done here, so hope you've enjoyed it. If you have and haven't dropped a like, please consider that. If you are not a subscriber to the channel, I always appreciate it and ask if people would consider that as well. You're not going to get bombarded. It doesn't give you any intrusion into your life. It just gives you an easier way to see what's going on the channel. One thing I do not mention a whole lot, it's attached to the description in all the videos. There is a Discord channel or a Discord server coming up on about 100 members out there. Not really a whole lot of chatter. I'm not going to try to oversell it, but the only way we're going to get there is to get, you know, a few thousand people on there. So if you're into that kind of stuff, you know, maybe join up, linger around, and maybe, you know, or just start being a chatterbox. That's okay. I love engaging with people, as you well know if you've been on the channel for any length of time. So would love to have some more activity over there of people talking about stuff, and it's a little easier than dealing with comments and videos and so forth that sometimes can get overlooked, lost, or it's just hard to have an actual conversation in. Discord's much more conducive to that. So that's all the plugs for the channel, and I will see you next time.